I get sure ko bitse ka nickname or ko bitse ka. Mara then it will be ka nickname. Bumblebee, thank you for welcoming me. I think most of people, if you realize they've seen anchors. Sometimes it's cars anchors. Sometimes it's us giving food. Sometimes it's us. Now we have branded water. Not to say we are selling them. Remember why we started with anchors? It was mainly to say it was hard for us to do it, and let us be anchors for somebody else.
Hello, guys. Welcome to NextGen Anchor Conversation. My name is Tato Veli, and I'm not alone. Yeah, I'm an anchor, but I'm not alone. I have my fellow anchor here today with us.
I think during the week there's something is posting. Now, one of the posts very so that kiskega. Is English at was So it says there are those who talks about what they want to do and those who says what they are going to do. Then either they do it or they don't. But there are those who simply do and then let you know what they have accomplished. At that point, it's up to you to ask them how they did it.
Yeah.
And but then the last ones, there are those who do, and then later tell you when you ask them, and most of the time, I think we are coming to this platform to say, but youth sees us, we have achieved certain things and their dreams and their goal, but then they don't know and have an opportunity to ask us questions.
Yes.
And then while having this conversation, let it be advice, let it be coaching, let it be mentorship to anyone who can hear this. And the good thing is we have always been having these conversations and we have decided to record them now.
Yeah. Taking from you, I mean, we've been excited. We've been talking about this conversation, having this conversation, the impact that this conversation can have to people that are less, people that are not well developed, people that need these opportunities, this exposure. And what you just quoted, it summarizes the whole point as to why we are here. So what does that quote mean for you? And seeing yourself now having been here today, sitting down and having this conversation that we're about to have?
I think most of people, if you realize they've seen anchors. Sometimes it's cars anchors. Sometimes it's us giving food. Sometimes it's us. Now we have branded water. Not to say we are selling them. Remember why we started with anchors. It was mainly to say it was hard for us to do it, and let us be anchors for somebody else, right?
Yes.
And now we are actually saying, let us continue being anchors to the others. Let us have those meaning conversations. And while we do so, I think people perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yes.
And most of us, we have this knowledge, but we don't know what we are doing with it.
Exciting stuff. As much as I may know you, and as you have already alluded, calling me by my nickname, it simply gives you a sense that you clearly know me. But people who are watching this, they're wondering, who are you? Who is this guy? And why are you the one that's going to have this conversation? Why you? Could you maybe just give us an understanding of Omang? Who are you?
Okay. I think my name is William Matlatsi, and I would like to refer myself as an anchor. If you know what an anchor does, you'll know that it stabilizes things. Within communities, people look up to somebody, whether a role model or what. But in a nutshell, that person is an anchor. And these conversations, they are necessary because of I'm not who I am without the financial industry.
Yes.
And I think we are here to have this financial industry conversation. But before telling myself in terms of who I am, I think I will just focus a little bit in terms of what anchors is.
Yes.
And why anchors conversations. Right, and then tell you in terms of why I'm so passionate about these conversations and this so-called an industry. Right. Anchors is a non-profit organization which focuses on economic and social issues, because we believe that we have social issues, and in social issues, what you do, you turn giving You turn into giving people, and now that creates a dependency where people are always receiving, but then they are not doing anything.
Right.
We end up being a begging nation. And economical issues then says we don't have employment, and so we have a crazy concept. And sorry for using the word crazy, of saying instead of us coming to you and asking for something or donation, you rather give us work.
Yeah.
But those are the conversations that we have been having in the background and doing them, and no one was understanding what we are doing.
Yes.
Now, because now we believe in the concept, we are actually saying, let us now go back and have this conversation, and hence Anchor's conversation.
Right.
That is Anchor's, right? And then I think you understand it better than me. But so what I will do I'll also try to come and say, who am I and why this conversation specifically for the financial industry?
Yes.
Because if you know my story from different podcasts, from the story that I've been telling, probably people will always say, this one is like to telling us about himself. We are tired. Yeah. So, but today I want to share in terms of, I'm not that person who just talk and talk.
Yes.
Yeah, I also do. I can keep quiet and do. The problem is, the problem is, then you'll be asked, you'll think, yeah, things are from heaven. So I think I'm William Matlatsi Sibilibili, and then the financial industry, it was introduced to me while I was at an orphanage. And then from orphanage, I realized that, these people are giving us stuff, but now we are eating. The problem is, after matric, then what? Then I started volunteering into an insurance company.
Right.
And then once I volunteer, when I finished matric, they then came and say, what can we help? Because the marks were good. I then asked for them to pay for me school fees or tertiary tuition. And I think it was the first. There's a lot of first, but it was the first they did it as an organization because they didn't have bursaries.
Yes.
But what I did is because I volunteered, they could see that, hey, at least this one does something, so let's help him. And then they paid for my fees. From then I decided to say, I think, let me go to school, because we are naughty. What did I do then? Then impregnate a girl. Well, I'm at an orphanage, then I'm a man, I need to start working.
Yeah.
When I started working, I was hired, no birth certificate, no ID, and I started as a claim administrator. Claim administrator. I think that was my first job, permanent employment. And from then, I think 16 years ago, I had nothing. I had no home. I was at an orphanage. I had a girlfriend who's pregnant. She has a home. And now, which means I have to be responsible. But the financial industry today, I'm married, I have home, I have house. I've on average, South African citizen, I think I've done well for myself.
Right.
But then it's selfish. It's selfish for me to know what the industry has done, not understanding the challenges, and not sharing and giving the next generation
An opportunity.
or a roadmap in terms of this. What is this financial industry? You go to school, they don't talk about financial industry. Only when you don't know what to do or you're in trouble, then they say, come and sell a police. Yeah. So, and these conversations are merely for focusing them for now in terms of the financial industry. What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? And we are trying to bring to three. We are trying to say, what else the government has done?
Yes.
I think their responsibility is to set regulations, right?
Yes.
Set up regulations and rules, and they are doing it, and we can see.
Yeah.
And then there is business. Business must create employment. And when they create employment, they must apply the regulations and operate within that. And also ensure that they are making profit. But then there is communities, there is society. They also have responsibilities, and they need to know what is it that they need to do. And we are here to share the information and what they have done, because of I think I'm an insurance expert.
Right.
Yes.
So you've mentioned how businesses are supposed to be, well, maybe you didn't mention it directly, but from what you've explained, I'm getting a sense that businesses were initially established, right, so that they can coexist with families. And you've mentioned that Anchors was previously established to show that businesses and economic issues and social issues can actually coexist. Would you say how you grew up to be where you are now in the industry it's a testament to that statement?
I'm going to ask you the very same question. Because I'm not an interviewer. Now you're acting as if I'm now at an interview. We're having this conversation.
Yeah,
so can
no,
I ask you a question?
definitely.
Because now because now I know you and the viewers probably don't know you, right? Who are you and what have the industry done for you?
Yeah, well, as I've already mentioned, my name is Tato Veli, and I started in the industry as a data capture, and being a jack of all trades, and that actually set me up to adapt, to lead with empathy, to be curious, and the industry has had an opportunity to take me to school. I'm actually pursuing now a BSc in informatics, and I mean, if I hadn't started, no one would have opened doors. No one would have taken me to school. They're taking me to school, and the sky is the limit. And looking at that, I'm also a coach. I do coaching also part time, and I'm so passionate about coaching, particularly leadership, client etiquette, client experience, client excellence, in a nutshell. So that is me. That is me. But we're reverting back to my question. We're talking about the industry, and someone who's watching this will be wondering, what is this industry that we're referring to? Would you maybe just give us a breakdown of what is this financial industry? Because yes, you may be thinking that you understand, you know what the industry is, but someone who's sitting out there and thinking, what does the financial industry mean? What is it in a nutshell?
Financial industry, I don't know how to explain it, but I'll make it in the simplest term that everyone understand or know.
Yes.
Every month you see your parents meeting in somebody's house or somewhere, either a group of men or ladies, either they are a society so that when you die, they are going to bury you, or they say we are saving, which is a stokvel, and we are putting money aside.
Right.
And that money they collect, somebody take it to bank, because now they are scared of people robbing them. They are now transferring, having sleeps.
Yes.
And there is money. There is a flow of money, and I think what then that makes it an industry.
Yes.
I think in a nutshell, that's that's what I'll call a financial industry. And that flow of money need to be regulated, which means government has responsibility, right?
Yes.
And then because of government has the responsibility and business has responsibilities, then now these three people, whether government, whether business or corporate, whether society, they are role players, they are stakeholders in that. Therefore, hence we call it an industry. But these are three people who are government, society, and also clients themselves. Because of whatever you can say, you need to sell, or whatever you can package, or whatever you can contribute, which is a better, or whatever you want to contribute towards to, or your savings, the need is to save people, whether they die or for future. I think that's financial industry in a nutshell in terms of funeral. But where does that money goes to? That money goes to the bank.
Yes.
What does it do in the bank? There's savings, there's interest.
So
pila financial industry is a flow of money. It's right. And the financial industry now, especially when it comes to insurance, specifically long-term and micro insurance.
Yes.
Right? But there is banking, there is short terms, there is a lot of things. But what happens is somebody is buying something, whether a product, whether savings, whether what.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what financial industry is. And this industry, whether insurance, they've changed my life or gave me an opportunity. And that's what I want to give back in the form of giving back. Yes. And because I'm not in an interview, we're having conversation.
Right.
And Mr. Veli.
Yes. But maybe before you ask a question, there was a question that wanted to be posed across us there. And I think maybe let's just give it an opportunity. Because we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? We are in the spirit of having a conversation.
And the other thing is, remember, we are having this conversation in terms of educating, right?
Yes.
And then today we are having this young man whom, because of agree, when now you're a coach, you even happen to be my coach, but now as your coach and also you are meant. Because of and then there's another one there.
Yeah,
and I don't think an anchor, but he's not ready. He's not ready to be on cameras.
Yeah.
So I think the ideas tend to say, when we have this conversation, let's bring the young ones.
Yes.
and also bring those who have experience so that we can learn from them.
Yeah.
What we have learned will also pass to those who are still coming.
The next gen.
The next gen. Yes, because we are the current gen.
Hello guys. Hearing about and adding to what Brother Totel said on your interest of anchors. So what is your target with anchors and who are the targets in your financial market?
Yeah, that is why I say ready for camera, because now that English is wrong.
I think it's nerves, but I think I get this question, right?
No, I also get the question, but at the same time,
Can I start with my mother language?
Yeah, bolela Sotho man. No, what is
The targets are anchors ke bo mang?
okay. O nyako ya araba or
I will partially answer it, and you can maybe just take on the cue, right? You're looking at, we're saying we are an anchor. Who are we anchoring? We've also been anchored by the old people, and then from the old people, there's youth, and from youth it needs to be able to anchor the next generation. So we want to encompass our target in ensuring that we actually bring everyone abroad, from the old generation to the mid generation and to the young generation, youth, us, and that is who we are looking at anchoring. But most specifically, it's the next generation.
kgopela o tlalletsa
Yes.
ke ske ka re ke laka leo. Now ka Sotho ba re tsela e botsiswa ko ba ba fetileng or ko ba ba hole.
Yes.
Now we are who we are mainly because of these people that we are learning from.
Yes.
And what they can do now, ko hore ba re fe maele, they must give us advice. And advice won't just come to you, right? So we are going to them and we will be inviting them to come and have conversations. We're having this conversation not mainly to have a target. I don't target. We are saying, re kgopela le ruteng ba ba tsebang, those who know teachers.
Yes.
And then whatever we know, we are also going to pass to those who are still coming, right? Yes. So I don't know if it answers your question in terms of who's our target, but the other thing is because of we are saying those who we are referring to people, there is also another conversation. We can talk about these things as individuals because those are our challenges. But the other point is to say government, they have mandate. Government, they have to regulate us. There is regulators. And companies, they need to make profit. They need to build this society.
Yes.
At the same time, then the community must also play their part.
Yes.
We're having these conversations, then let us also ensure that reality conversations, some futama, conversation, hey man, renale challenge, yes, so.
Yeah.
We have this challenge, there is unemployment. Or the company says, these people, they are unemployable because of there is no qualification or insurance, what, you will prepare for that thing.
Yes.
So we are not merely having conversation or matataking. We are not even having podcasts. We are saying, let's us have these conversations. What is the current challenge with government? What is the current challenge with the business? What is the current challenge with communities?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Government will say the industry is not regulated because people are not doing what they were promised to do.
Right.
And the organization will say, hey, we're having a challenge to bring in people. Remember, we said we must make change, we must diversify, we must make change which is transform the industry.
Yes.
Right? That's the government which have told what? The government have told the organization, people who are making profit.
Yes.
And then you must diversify, which means there must be older people, there must be us, then there must be young ones.
Yes.
At the same time, there must be females and males. Today, only males. What about females?
Yes.
And when it comes to color, there's gender issues, there's also color issues. We must not have conversation as if we are the only ones. Within the industry, I think we are Rainbow Nation.
Rainbow Nation, yeah.
Right? So we are saying, let us have this conversation. And iskafela ka di conversation. Why are we even having a right to talk about these things? We're having a right because of Renai saying, but okay, there's an opportunity for you to come in a school or in weather business. But at the same time, there are things that you need to do because we are dealing with sensitive issues. We are dealing with money.
Yeah.
We are dealing with, there's a lot of things. Even if you go to school, after you finish school, you can still come, whether you're an accountant, you're a lawyer, can still come here and do that.
Yes.
And then this conversation will be tackling a lot of issues. But who are we to have a right to have this conversation, and what is it that we are doing? Right? Discover the conversation. What is it that we are doing? Are we going to tell people or opportunities, or are we also going to open access to market? Are we also saying, okay, anchors saying,
Yeah.
and why we're not paying anchors? Because of we are paying maro interview and what is the purpose of anchors? Which explain it, right? It was more financial industry.
Yeah.
So hence we are saying ready anchor, then retloads and nanga tabela hori.
So you've mentioned in the industry Otlogala transformation, diversity and inclusivity. Now, as an anchor, I strive to ensure that there's change, because the world is always changing. It's always moving. I am here because of, firstly, I need to equip myself, prepare myself for the readiness of ensuring that the next one that I'm going to be anchoring is going to be ready to be anchored. But the reason why I'm wearing this shirt, anchors in a nutshell, it's to serve, right? It's to provide that solution. And I believe that I can provide service. Service, it's what I deal with. That's what I excel with. I can serve. So I'm a servant. So in being a servant, I need to be a servant in providing a solution, because you look at government. The government is there to ensure that people are regulated. There's policies. It's there to serve the people in a nutshell. Similarly to businesses, a business is established so that it can be able to serve people, communities. So, but you look at everything. Like if now we could put it on a sheet, you'll see that there's a bit of a gap. So there's problems, but no one is actually saying that I am here. I'm saying that by wearing this shirt, I'm raising my hand. I'm saying that I'm here. I'm ready to provide a solution. I'm ready to serve. Send me, told me. I will go and I'll definitely do it.
I want our own interview. I'll interview.
But communication is the art of asking a question, receiving it, responding. And
yes,
that's what we are having. So we get to having that conversation in a nutshell.
I think one of the things, and as Rere Anchor's non-profit organization, and I'm gonna ask a question at the same time. The Trawi Arab, right? Economical and social issues, what is it that they do?
Yes.
And which is we all know.
Yes.
But at the same time for recording, we're not next gen.
and the
other next generation, so that role we are financial industry. And why associate Renako Enkas, there are three things that we are doing. We give advice. Right? Advice, not financial advice. Yeah. Economic and social issues, we give advice.
Yeah.
On advice that we give you, if we're right, because you can give advice, people don't ask for advice. If you are right, you have right attitude, you are a right person that we can develop, we also coach you. Right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, as an individual, after that, then we also say, okay, on what we have coached, we are going out and look for opportunities for you. It's an individual. But at the same time, those are social issues. Yes. Economical issues, we are taking care of companies. So say, well, now you can paint, you can do this, yes. You can do. That's the other thing that we are doing. Yes. What do? We give advice in terms of what to do, where to go, and how can you do it. And then we also said, once we have given you advice, and now comes to the financial industry, because we have done it. Not personally within the financial industry, I can take you. Now you are an example.
Existing example.
Yes. I can advise you, I can coach you so that change, yes. And then I can also say what I've done within the industry. I think I've over a decade, probably over, I just mentioned it, 16 years.
Yeah.
But before that, volunteering as well, I was still in high school. So that makes me over 2 decades within this financial industry learning. The industry have managed to change my life, but I was fortunate enough to be in positions where I'm going to work with companies.
Right.
And companies whereby I've given them, a consultant. A consultant is somebody who's an expert, or I should say, I'm a consultant, who's an expert in terms of coaching and giving advice. If I come to you as your consultant, either I'm going to look for something for you or I'm going to help you in terms of the challenges that you have.
Right.
And over that time, I've managed to serve and transform companies, individuals from a person, a change, a juristic person, which means a company. Moving from a company, then a FSP, which then becomes a broker or independent financial advisor.
Right.
And then moved from an independent financial advisor, then becomes an administrator. From an administrator, then becomes a cell-captive owner, which is an insurer without a license.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I've also had an opportunity to do what? To form part of a team where we applied for micro insurance license,
Yes.
third-party cell-captive.
Yes.
And then where we have moved administrators or brokers, now they're insurers without a license. So now do you understand why we are saying we are anchors? We are saying if there's change, if there's coaching, if there's advice or consulting, then we can help. And we are offering this.
We are also happy. You initially when we started the conversation, you mentioned that when the anchors was established, we didn't want to form the entitlement or the dependency mind to say that I can always fold my hand and wait, knowing that anchors is going to give out. And hence we're speaking about now coaching, consulting, advisory coaching and consulting. So for someone that is looking to get in the industry, someone that is looking to revamp their life, someone that is looking to be where you are now, can they also volunteer? How can they start? How can they get in the industry?
First, they must go to school. Yeah. I think matric is important. Let's just go and get grade 12. Yeah. School, and then and then problem. It's a fraud, problem. No. Assembly. Please, let's go to school. Once we have grade 12, then once we have grade 12, then we can start of saying, okay, I'm looking for an employment, whether I'm going to school, whether I want to sell, whether I want to go and work in terms of sales distribution, or then go and work in terms of supporting the salespeople, which is operations. Again, there is also things that they do, which is RE5. Yes. So it's either you go and finish matric, then the next step is to say, I want to sell. If I want to sell, what is it that I need? Selling, they need RE5, yes.
Yeah, but you can also sell without RE5.
Yeah, I can also sell without RE5, depending.
It's going to be basic insurance, like, I don't know, funerals. But then you won't be able to sell things like investment, life covers. I think you can just sell basic ones. Yes, but
Cat 1, which is Cat 1.
Cat 1. Yes, that's the way. But obviously, when you get RE5, it gives you more exposure into the insurance world, into the banking world. You can navigate where you want to go. RE5 is just basic after matric. You need matric.
Yes.
People must go to school.
Yes.
It's very important. People ought to go to school and get your RE5. And then from the RE5, then it's easy for you then to penetrate it through the industry. I mean, I just mentioned now that they are paying for my studies. They're paying for my studies. I have my RE5 and they saw potential. Well, I discovered my love for IT while helping around, right? People will be like, no, this system is not working. You get out of curiosity. Then I realized that I love how systems operate. My love for thinking made me now pursue a BSc in informatics. And yeah, so in a nutshell, RE5, without RE5 value, you can sell.
You can sell, Mara. It's like a driver's license. You can drive without a license, Mara. The traffic will stop you because then you have a problem with the regulators. Depending on the category, you'll be, no, get RE5. But I think what is RE5? Again, it's regulatory exam. But then therefore, we must get somebody who knows RE5. Yes. I think we must have this conversation with people about RE5 and the opportunities, the opportunities which becomes available when you have RE5.
Yes.
Right? And then and same applies to client servicing, right?
Yes,
client servicing, you also need RE5.
Yes.
So I think in our next conversation, we must find somebody.
Absolutely. I mean, you're looking at the regulatory exams. I mean, you get RE5, you get your credits, you get your RE1. You can be a manager, supervisor. Your life can be set, right? You can develop. But I think it's on the next conversation. And that is why people need to stick to listening to these conversations we are going to have, so that people can understand how to get in the industry and how the industry can change one's life, from just getting an RE5 to being a supervisor or a manager, and well, equipping yourself, going to school, studying, and just preparing yourself for a better life that you want to live. So I think you're right. We need to bring someone that understands what RE5 is, and the opportunities that RE5 can bring to people. And yeah, that's why you need to stick to listening to this conversation.
Yeah. So and now next gen, RE5. The next time we are going to ask Mutwa is RE5. So when it comes to RE5, there are two things. There is a person who prepares you, sort of a teacher,
Yes.
right, or a facilitator in terms of when you are pure. So let's just find your motto just from metric
Out of school, yeah.
out of school. What is it that they need to do? I guess then we will bring somebody who will tell them about what does the preparation entails.
Yes.
And then after then they are going to write exams. I get it?
Yes.
For example, when you go to do your license, you either go to a driving school. First, they prepare you in driving every day. And then on the date that they've come out or set, you then go and for testing.
Yes.
Same applies with RE5. But they will prepare you. Once they are done preparing you, then you will
Must go take the exam.
take the exams. So then, therefore, it says, after we've brought in somebody who deals with
RE5.
RE5 preparation,
Yes.
then we must also have a conversation with somebody who works in institutions that they help in certifying.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think then the next conversation is we need to start from basic. So moving forward, then it means that we must just bring someone that understands the whole RE5, and just to tell people what the process looks like, the preparation,
The rules,
what
the
is it that you need to
jargons,
study, all of that. Just get a person.
and why RE5?
Yeah. We spoke about how now people do not have skills. Companies are looking for people.
Yes.
But because of you don't have a skill, you are not employable. You're looking at the employment rate. We've got a high employment rate in South Africa. And certificates like RE5.
Employment or unemployment?
Unemployment.
Oh.
Apologies, unemployment. You're looking at certificates like RE5. That can also be a bridging gap between the high rate of unemployment that we have in South Africa and having people employed. So I think it's quite important.
And also those who do not qualify or didn't qualify to go for university.
Yes.
Then I think this financial RE5 can help. But then it's not only RE5, it's RE1, whereby now you want to go to the next level.
Yes.
And then after RE1, then it takes us again to how to apply for an FSP license, because you cannot apply for an FSP license without somebody who has RE1. And because when you have RE1, then you become a key individual.
Yes.
Then it leads us to say we must also invite somebody who went the process. Or RE1 or an FSP, RE process or FSP.
Yes. Yes.
And I think the conversation are open-ended. Why? Because when it comes to individuals, somebody is going to prepare you, then you go right, then we are done. The next one will teach you how to sell or how to do client services.
Yes.
There is proper training that can be handled.
Yes.
But then when it comes to companies, if you are saying, now I want to be a businessman,
Yes.
I want to have a brokerage, you must have experience. From experience, then what you are then need to do, then write your RE1 so that you become a key individual.
Yes.
And then go and apply. But they're going to ask you a compliance office. They are going to ask you about your accountant. So then the compliance officers must also be here.
They must be here.
But
you see also like when someone can become get an RE1,
Yes.
right, and have a brokerage
Yes.
and run that brokerage. Getting a compliance officer, you can just also borrow from somewhere. Like you can just come.
No.
Temporarily.
So we are no. No shortcuts. Hey man, very shortcut. You pirates in your glue win now, You're shortcut. No shortcut.
Yeah.
So and the other thing says, Kibo mang babaka plelang FSP license.
Yes.
Because RE1 and RE5 individuals then brings us to say, the society.
Yes.
They can also have a license. Only the company 2 million society. And then now they are insurers. They have over 100 years. Then honali the funeral parlor. Yes. They also need to know because agree we have sold should you die, and when you die, there's somebody who must do what. Who must bury you. And at the same time, those people also, sometimes they can sell. They need to also to comply. So I think the conversations are going to be, we are going to share information on Next Gen. We are also going to learn and share our experiences in terms of those, for example, people I've worked with, people I've said I've served, and I'll give you a background.
Yes.
To say I'm a consultant, I think I started being a group scheme specialist since 2014. And I'll give you a background so that you can understand what the industry has.
Yes.
Baba Ratan Chelet. So that you can understand. So I think in 2014 December, I had an opportunity to move from being financial risk advisor, which I was doing auditing.
Yes.
I was doing auditing group bargaining. So they were palace as an insurer.
So like group scheme sort of.
So as an insurer, there's group scheme divisions. Group schemes, there's palace, there's societies, there's brokers.
Right.
When you have agreement, what you need to do, you must also audit what they are doing. Because other than that, if they are doing something wrong, the regulator, which is the FSCA, will have a problem with you.
Yes.
So I had an opportunity to be an audit, financial risk advisor, assess, prepare codes, just to build from scratch. And then I realized, when I go there, I'm supposed to be a police. I have to go and find what is it wrong that they're doing. And I tend to advise them. Yeah. So no, there's no certificate. Let's fix.
Yeah.
Then I realized, no, I'm in a wrong department or wrong space. I need to move to the other side. Yeah. Then I become a group scheme specialist, which means I'm a consultant. When I started there, I think I inherited a group. I think small groups.
Yes.
It was around November, December. And it was a transition whereby I think there was an accusation of companies. I don't want to tell stories or company. Yes. Until we can have conversations and talk about names, such things.
Yes.
More platform in our conversations.
Yeah.
And I think we should also go and ask if it's okay, if you can do it, because we give testimony to show what we have done. What they have done for us, and while we are still saving, what is it that they can still do? So it's a matter of having this conversation with the right people.
Yeah, no, I think it's very important that we have to go back and ask them, because it's about testimonies.
Yeah, it's about testimonies. What
you learned, what you experienced.
Yes.
Yeah, but it will unfold.
So from 2014, I think I started having how many groups? I think 36 what was inherent, and then from January 2015 my book was around, I think I was managing something like 54 groups, small ones.
Yes.
And with an annual premium of something like maybe 4 million per annum. Now imagine so many groups with just a premium of 4 million per annum. But from that time, from 2014 until 2022, I then managed to clean the book because of others were not complying. Others had to be cancelled.
Yes.
Just to clean the book to a thing sizable to others were coming in, now others were going out to 16 group schemes. I end up with 16 group schemes with an annual premium of, I think it was 160 million. So I was managing that.
Yes.
Therefore, it makes an expect, because as a consultant, you go out and find a book, you bring it in, and then once you find it, you must also be involved in the process of quotations and negotiations and everything. Yeah. Once the client agrees, you must come back within the organization, make a presentation. I have this client, this is how they are going to do, what they are going to do. And then once that is signed off, agreements, you work with legal department, works. Then we move to marketing, where we are marketing material, because FSCA need to ensure that we treat the customers fairly. Right? We're now this better fairs and because I think and I know you are an expert when it comes to expect to be. Expect to be in terms of saving why those regulation, or how do you protect, how do you treat the customer fair, right? And then once everything is done, the product is selling from mere quotation to until there is a product, until there is synergies within the organization, back to a point where a client need to go and pay.
Yes.
to pay a premium because the product have been created. I've been in that process. I know, I understand it very well. So I think these conversations.
It's going to be quite an interesting journey that we're going to take. I mean, you spoke about funeral parlors. You spoke
Yes.
about non-compliance. So I think also on one of the conversations we're going to have, we need to bring someone, an expert in funeral parlors, so they can come here and tell us why do you find that the funeral parlor has been operating 15 years. 2 years later, it's no longer operating. What happened? So I think we will need to sit down and bring someone that can be able to give us those challenges. And we said he brings solutions. He'll find someone that can also bring solutions to that. But I've got a question in terms of what you've experienced. You mentioned that out of the book that you were dealing with, there are other groups that you had to be stopped or cancelled because of non-compliance. Why do you think there's non-compliance, or why do you think there were non-compliance in those groups?
I think for the mere factor where financial industry doesn't have a proper school or university, there's a lot of gaps.
Yes.
When we started, I said people perish because of lack of knowledge. And there are those who have the knowledge. There are those you are a business owner or you are an individual within the financial industry. And for the fact that you might have written your RE, but there's no continuous development. Saying, or you do something wrong, whether intentional or unintentional. Intentional then becomes fraud.
Right.
Yeah, and then there's also frauds, forensics. There's a lot of things within the financial industry. Then you can be anything.
Yes.
And then come to organization companies, and individuals move from being just selling. He or she has been selling. Now unale company or business person. Now unale more responsibilities, right?
Yes.
And uguti fela selling or distributing of product.
Right.
And then now they have to understand the whole value chain.
Yes.
And if they don't get the right people to come and help. They don't equip themselves in self-development, in learning, or getting the right people in terms of compliance office or key individuals. Then they have problems. They then have problems. Remember, if there's something wrong that you do, an underwriter, which is an insurer, becomes in trouble. If you say we'll find them from 1 million to 10, I'm not sure, we still need to refresh our mind. Companies will say, hey, fine. Got somebody up at annual premium 100,000. No, either 100,000 annual premium or monthly premium compliance. Yeah, no, it's a sense. It doesn't make economic sense or business sense. Then we have to cancel those things because I cannot lose my work and my future and my reputation because somebody anyako comply. Those were the reasons why some we had to cancel because
Yeah, no, I think later on in the conversation also we'll need to bring people that understand the legislations that govern these insurance companies, and also just to show people that they're actually being taken care of because there's a lot of regulations. I mean, you read the newspapers, you find that businesses, banks have been fined, and when you read, you see that maybe it's none of compliant. Maybe, like you said, people don't understand. Now, when you speak about people not complying, do you think that they don't know where to go to get this information, or there is that information there is legislations there, it's just that they don't understand them? Do you think maybe it could be a lack of understanding?
No. If somebody like me can do what I did, it's because maybe I was fortunate enough or I was hungry enough, and then information is always there.
Yeah.
But I think it's more to say who are the people that are available to share the information.
Right.
And then when they share, do we have people who listens and imply? Because Rataudiradilo is yes and no. Yes, they don't know because of ignorance sometimes.
Right.
Or access to information. Because sometimes this industry changes quickly. Like if things change now, it's quickly in a hurry, things change.
Yes.
Product, you might be doing something, there's something wrong with the product that we are doing. Regulation change, a new regulation comes, then you must keep on updating yourself. If that change comes, they give you time and you are not compliant, then you will be cancelled or you are in trouble.
Yes.
What you have known 10 years ago to now, I need to start reading and go back and say, hey, what are the new regulations? And new regulations. And when people who are coming will also be learning so that they can offer advice.
Yes.
No, I said yes, ignorance and those things. No, it's mainly there are not enough people who are saying, actually, I can give back by sharing information. There are not enough people. And I think having this conversation also give platforms to say, but information wherever they can look at this. Or they can actually, we might also, because we identify that access to information is a problem.
Yes.
And renari the advice.
Yes.
Therefore, the problem.
Yeah.
Let's just say, what is it? Solutions. What is it that we are going to do, especially to the next gen? Those who are still coming.
Yeah.
I've attended in Sita Indab. I've seen they've started bringing kids from school to attend to the Indaba and then teach them so that they become aware of the industry. What I've seen is they've managed to say, well, leaders, government and businesses are having conversation. They also bring students from school to come and learn about the industry, right? So I think then we also have a role of say, okay, schools, kids from schools are covered. They have, somebody's doing something. We can either help there or we'll see. And there are those who are unemployed, right? Then we can say, okay, what is it? So to me, we are giving them information in terms of what is it, insurance, and just an idea. But don't you think, Uri, we can also now be a hub of information if government want to know about people who are interested in getting the financial industry? Companies who are saying, hey man, we are looking for people to train or training apprenticeship or so, right? I think we must start saying, while we are giving them advice, let us also bring them so that information, access to information, that's really database.
Yes.
I think Kiserka Tomo says, and it won't cost us a lot, but then we are going to need help with when it comes to technology, a lot of things. I think it's an idea that we must explore for this period, and there are no rates. But still going back to the Indab, I think the Indab was more about education, because key skills and development. It was about technology, things are changing. It was about regulations. It's about changing the industry because and also what are the skills that are also needed, right? We'll start having this conversation and reaching out to these people, whether communities, whether companies, whether government, and say we are here as anchors. We're having this conversation, not only having conversation, we're also giving advice, we're also coaching, we're also consulting in terms of that because we think we can contribute.
Yeah. And looking at the insurance industry as a whole, there's a lot of opportunities. It's not only about sales, it's not only about admin. There's a lot. You can come on board, but we're not going to be doing all of that. We're going to bring experts and then we're going to advise, we're going to coach, we're going to consult based on that. And that is why we're having this conversation. There's a lot of information out there and special, tailored information. You won't get it anywhere rather than this place, this conversation. And we're just not going to let them go. We have a conversation with the experts, show you how it's done, but then we'll have coaching or consulting and advisory offset.
Yeah, so one thing, or next gen, it's a question one. So if you level everything, king so unahanang hore utloso hopola or uitutile sona ka jeko from these conversations or rutwella re
nthe na ka tseno hore in financial management ke eng tsa di funeral parlor and coaching coming generations
ne all right. No, re sa tlo mruta ba next gen. O bona o bolela ka dilo tseng bona batho ba tlhalefileng mo. Tlhaka we won. At least you will have an opportunity to look at these videos over and over. Yeah. Because what we do most of the time, we go and tell people, okay, this and that and that and that. This we can do. But sales people, they practice this thing, and client services they practice thing. At the end of the day, on a le client o dumetse or on a le motho a nyakang something mara utlwa selo. So there is nothing wrong ka wena. Just we have been doing this thing for over 20 years. And and light camera action. I don't know wanna TV.
Yeah, no, but yeah, no man. In a nutshell, I'm so happy for this conversation, this platform that we are having, because without knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. But applied knowledge, that's where the wisdom comes. And that's why we're going to have people that have applied this information to qualify them as experts. And then we're going to then now show you how it's done. It's just not going to be a conversation. Everybody's speaking. Everyone is talking.
Yeah. From my side, I think just to recap or take this opportunity on camera, right?
Yes.
I think there are those ba batlang ba re ba kgopela advice or those ba kgopelang opportunity, and the opportunities are given, and at the end of the day abane resilience to continue pushing, right?
Yes.
And I think NextGen o mputsisitse hore wena le Thato le tsebana bjang. When I thought re tlo iputsisa this question, right? And ka mmotsa ka re ke tlo e bolela within ka mamputsise yona.
Yes.
Then I think ke nyaka go leboga hore despite ka mo gore tsebaneng ka teng re kopane, you were going to ask my mentor for advice.
I don't like that story.
I was asking my mentor for advice and I was sitting there. And my mentor said, ask me, yeah. And then I spoke and then you didn't listen. And then you continue. I want to thank you because you are one of the humblest men, young men who meeting. And then wa utlwellang wa rutiang, even though it's not easy, wa utlwelle fem. Right? Today you are becoming to be I think you are a leader.
Yes.
Yes, I agree you're a coach because Love Lynn and I, you are also my coach. We learn, yes, there's a lot of things that I'm learning from you. And I think Anchors is in the right hand. Now I've just started these Anchors just to give back. Yes. And I have my own life, I must start focusing. And it's encouraging. The dreams, all those conversation, dreams, it shows we are going somewhere.
Yes.
And to have you, Olemo, it's, yeah, man, you are a brother to me. And thank you for listening and learning. And it also says to the next gen of saying, if somebody like you can listen and get to where they are and where they are going, there is hope for a living dog than a dead lion. And there is hope for future. And South Africa is a beautiful country. I want to for that.
I appreciate it, Captain. What is a success? That a success, eh?
Yeah. Success without success. And we spoke about opportunities. We spoke about challenges. One of the challenges is access to information. One of the challenges, we are now in a volatile economy with what you know last year might not be relevant now.
Forever changing.
It's forever changing, and the financial industry is also impacted. Yes. And when we have these conversations, we will also allow people to understand, what you know last year or 2 years ago, now you need to update or upgrade so that you did. The other thing is there's unemployment that we need to tackle, which is our responsibility, the government responsibility and organization responsibility. And we are also says there's regulations which keep on updating. Can we have this platform whereby we are having these conversations? And the other thing is those who knows, those who have experience, they can also come and share with us. Yes. But yeah, because of we are also the next generation. And we are also the next generation to where they are, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be an enjoyable time when we have time to come and have conversations. We are not only having conversation between us, we are also recording it so that we can share with those who have who need the information. Right. Remember when we started, there are three kinds of people. Those who just talk about things that they never do.
Yes.
And there are those who talk about things that they talk and do. Right. And there are those who do and then tell you what they've done. Yes. Right? Yes. So I think to strike balance, let's continue. Let us be those who talk about things and do them. Yes. Yeah, robots and do it. Yeah. So that once we are doing it, people can also say, right? And I think we need that. We need that balance, because if you do only without telling people how we are doing it, people start having idea. Yes. Now we are not being a good examples to the society and community because of, I think we all need fathers, we need mothers so that they can teach us in terms of what had happened, what they have done, how they have achieved it, so that we learn. And then at the same time, there are if Batswadi serious too much, the current generation who are there, they must also say, hey, now this is our dreams, this is what we are going to do, so that the young ones can see them every day or by years. We come with expensive cars, what everything, and then everyone say, damane wa tsena fru, has no tsena wa robala wa tswa wa tsama o etsa o mong a re, "Ha wa utswa damane." And then now, without knowing, people are looking at you and they start resorting to crime and say, "Ha ke nyaka go tshwana le ena," because of a ke itse re o etsang le nna le nna ko utswa, because wa lebella movie motho re ho nyaka ka pela tsa mo utswa. And ba bang then they start saying, damane o bofile damane. Damane o thwele o tla ba ba re no nga ithathi ingozi, ha ingozi thatha lento. Man, there's also alternative ways. So I think that will be best. Let us to have this conversation. And to have this conversation with you, Mr. Veli, Bumblebee. I don't know from your side. I think this is your show. Now I'm just here to help you. It's time so that I can also but if you are a coach, people can also know that they can still go and learn and be coached by young people. Yes. Now you have coached me in several things. And now I'll be slightly an advisor, also a consultant, bring my friends to come and sit and offer information from when. I hope it's going to be a good joy.
It's going to be a good journey, and I'm looking forward to unpacking conversations, and many conversations that are still yet to be had. I'm just happy to be here, and thank you. You look at where I started to where I am and where I'm going. Most of the things would not have been achieved without a coach, without a mentor, without a brother. And we're hoping that this conversation can be dead to you, and it can show you that what is the thing that you like to say? One man island something.
At least this was so better. High one. There's a
saying, "Good man is not an island," something like that. But in a nutshell, you can't live alone. And guys, tune in, listen to these conversations, reach out, and we are here from us to you.
Anchors, we are anchors.
Yeah, we are anchors. NextGen.
Thank you.
Conversation.
Sure.
Thank you.